Ron DeSantis picks Harmeet Dillon, wants the RNC out of D.C. Tech tycoon vainly spends $2 million a year on anti-aging. New York wants to put men in jail with women. The crap show of the debt ceiling. The new information emerges on the Paul Pelosi attack. This is Anthony Pratt, and this is Sanity with Anthony. So, Ron DeSantis picks Harmeet Dillon, and his main concern is he wants the RNC out of D.C. From MSN, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis helped to shake things up for the race to the chairmanship in the Republican National Committee with backing Harmeet Dillon, and are planning to take the party headquarters out of Washington. Ron DeSantis said in an interview with Charlie Kirk, "I think we need to change. I think we need to get some new blood in the RNC. I like what Harmeet Dillon has said about getting the RNC out of D.C. Why would you want to have your headquarters in the most Democrat city in America? It is more Democrat than San Francisco," is what he said. Charlie Kirk says government DeSantis is listening to the grassroots, which overwhelmingly want to see a change at the RNC. 90% of the Republican voters want change. They want the consultant class to take a back seat to the base, and he understands that. My hope is that the 168 members of the RNC hear what he has to say loud and clear. So this may be the governor's way of letting everyone know he stands with the people, whether that's actually his values or not. Hopefully it's his values, but pragmatically it actually doesn't matter at the moment. If Ron DeSantis is just supporting what the people like, we will, or what the people of the Republican Party like, we will do just fine. At about the time that Ron DeSantis was picking up steam with the Republican rhetorics, some criticized him, claiming that he is from the swamp and that he's a rhino. Now, I very much don't think that this is true. I don't think Ron DeSantis is a rhino whatsoever. I think every day he's doing something to further the Republican agenda. And I think he's doing conservative policies every day, including like, he just knows he's a smart politician. I mean, obviously. And he sent the National Guard, for instance, to the border to protect it. He then, he did with the entire, the protection of, they coined it the Don't Say Gay bill. Now that's how I know it by. But yeah, he made it so, you can't teach queer theory and gender studies to third graders and below. Like, that's so ridiculous. But yeah, it seems like day after day he's doing something conservative. Yep. Okay, the most recent thing he did that I'm really liking is the banning of he wants to ban the CCP from owning farmland and critical infrastructure. What's the reason that the CCP needs to own that? We're not losing anything. They also buy a lot of real estate. They buy a whole lot of real estate and jack up the prices for the American people. We don't need the CCP getting in here. I'm okay with some basic things, investing in a tech company in America, investing in the American company. But yeah, I want the TikTok out. I want, the CCP to lose any kind of control it could have. Let's say we ended up in a war, and then just shut off all that farmland. I mean, we'd probably recover, but we don't want to have to deal with that. We may not recover in a very critical time. They're smart. They know what they're doing. So the breaking news, however, is that Ron McDaniel has won the RNC for the fourth straight term. So this shows that DeSantis may not be in control of the Republican Party just yet. However, if leadership was the issue during the 2022 elections, the last midterms, we are in for some rocky elections. However, if it was not, then I guess we'll have to just wait and see. So, as you know, in the midterms, it was supposed to be the red wave, and the Republicans were supposed to take back the Senate and the House and just show everybody up. That did not happen. They barely took the House. They're doing a lot of good in the House. I'm really liking the House. I'll get to some of that later. But yeah, we didn't take the Senate. And a lot of people blame the RNC. A lot of people blame Trump. A lot of people blamed abortion, blamed all sorts of different issues. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now, if leadership doesn't change after failure, I have no idea what I'm not seeing any concrete things changing here. And so, like we were just talking about earlier, 90% of the Republicans want a new change. They want young blood, as Ron DeSantis so greatly put it. But the big donors, with the votes. I think there was some quote I just saw that like they don't care about the small donors. They're not the ones making the votes. So the RNC is ran like an oligarchy. So we'll see. I guess they all think it was Trump's fault. So if it was Trump's fault and DeSantis can win, then how about it? But that's just no one really knows exactly what it was. So in the culture, the tech tycoon, 45 years old, reportedly spends $2 million a year on his extreme anti-aging regime. His goal: to achieve the body inside out of an 18-year-old, someone like myself. So the reason I'm talking about this, we're all gonna die. So death's lurking around the corner. We're all going to die, except that this is very important, because we all have those urges to, whether you believe in sin or not, I certainly do, to live in the moment for the momentary pleasure and sacrifice long-term achievement or meaning, achievement in the meaning. So, we're all going to die someday, so do something meaningful. Just a little cliche right there. Yeah, do something meaningful with your life, Even this guy's not going to stop time, okay? He's going to die. He may last a little bit longer, few more years longer, but I mean, how much money, time, and effort is he spending on doing that? So, and also, there's this I have a growing worry of transhumanism, not to be confused with transgenderism, although both are an issue. Transhumanism is like, let's say you got your arm cut off, and there was things out there to put a new fake arm on, but it still worked like a real arm, and it restored you back to a state of normalcy. Now, there's this transhumanism effort to, let's say in the future, if you had your arm cut off on purpose to then put on a better arm. That is where we're getting things like this, trying to make your body better, trying to fight Father Time. That's fine. I think I've actually come to the conclusion that helping biology is not immoral. If we're all from evolution anyway, then we evolve to be better, and have smarter brains. So what's wrong with us going in there and propelling that a little bit further? But another big issue is someone has to be the test subject. So this guy, I'm sure if something comes out by the end of his life, he's going to get really desperate. I saw one billionaire that was like 90 something years old getting a heart transplant. Like, what the heck is going on? I definitely don't want to live forever. I want to live forever I don't want to live forever in this state. That's for sure. But yeah, I think transhumanism is an issue, kind of like eugenics. But it's really just, I'm into the whole fitness industry. I take cold baths in the morning. I think working out, running, eating healthy is great. My body is a temple. I'm joking, but yeah. So I think all that's good, but it's just a huge waste of time if you take it to this level. If you take it to this level, it's a huge waste of time. You're not going to be doing anything meaningful with your life. I saw a recent quote by Abraham Lincoln I want to read. I think it's his quote. Or maybe it was just the author's interpretation. Oh, okay. So he made a statement in Milwaukee back in, 1850 something. But I think this is how you transhumanism in the right way. A key way to guarantee economic independence, Lincoln told the Milwaukee audience, was to promote education. A man's brain guided, directed, and protected his labor, so every mind must be cultivated and improved to help men rise. That is the Republican ideal still today. cultivate your mind. I'm actually going to get a degree in philosophy. I know, it's roast worthy because I'm not going to make any money with that. However, I am probably going to get a law degree after. But, to cultivate your mind not only will give you economic success, but will just give you moral success, understanding. It's a beautiful thing to cultivate your mind to a higher standard every day and work towards increasing your mental capacity to understand the world around you, which, yes, will lead to economic prosperity also and a better country, nation, everything. Okay. Develop something that is going to last. I was just touching on that just a second ago. And something that is going to be good. So you don't want Marxism. You don't want to write Marxist ideas, resentful speech, ideas that people who also feel resentful latch on to and, go kill 100 million people with those ideas. So just emphasizing, do something that's going to last and something that is good. All right, from the Daily Wire. A proposed New York law could put criminally insane male inmates in women prisons. Yep. They're doing it now. Okay. Let me read the article from the Daily Wire. A proposed law in New York could allow mentally ill male inmates to assume a non-male identity and be granted access to women's prisons. According to a women's advocacy group, yesterday the New York Senate added an amendment to Senate Bill 2860, euphemistically called the Gender Identity, Respect, Dignity, and Safety Act, that would allow male prisoners to be placed in a correctional facility or other institution that matches their self-determined gender identity. According to the women's advocacy group, these other institutions added to the bill likely include psychiatric facilities for the criminally insane and possibly high-risk sex offenders. So, okay, you're going to say, this is crazy, this makes no sense. I agree with you, but probably for a different reason. But number one, they're trying to make it so inmates who are already incarcerated can do this. Now, you can already say in certain states, they may have changed it, I'm not sure, but in certain states you could just say, I'm a female now. So you can go to jail with a bunch of females, and then you female will get another female pregnant somehow. That's happened. I think multiple times. They got multiple inmates pregnant. Now, what I was touching on just a minute ago, this has to happen. If what they say they truly believe, this is the logical conclusion to their arguments. If trans men, women, are actually men, then they must go to the male prison. That's the logical conclusion. Now, we're not talking about just being kind to somebody who has a mental disorder, which is what this is. Now, if a male is actually a woman, they must go to a female prison. That's what has to happen. That is the logic. Why should they be around others of different genders that they are not? This just reached to the core of the argument. This entire trans agenda especially angers me on the kids' side, but the entire agenda is encouraging, indulging, and pandering delusion. So this entire movement is to just, when people, here's a little deeper point. When people want to seek approval, they're doing it now. Everyone wants approval. You ask somebody, what do you think about this? Guys, if they get, if they're talking to a new girl or they got a new girlfriend, they show each other, and the guys are like, yeah, man, if you're happy, that ruins how you feel about her a little bit. But so these people just want approval, indulgence, and a lot of times from kids. I saw a woman on TikTok break down crying because her kids accepted her. She didn't realize that, they're just kids and they don't actually know reality good enough yet. So they it's just sick. It's sick. But it's delusion. And they're indulging it. But, that's the logical conclusion. So if you're for this, you're for that. If you're for the trans agenda, then you should be advocating for that. Because if I know I was a woman, I would not want to be in a male prison, surrounded by a bunch of people who could take advantage of me. But no, it's obviously done. Okay, and this shows that the transgender simply cannot be tolerated. They're putting females at risk. They're ruining females' athletics. I saw the recent story in California where a woman was changing in the locker room, and there was a man there. So she was in the shower, and there was a man, and then when she opened the shower, she saw the man, so she closed the shower and hid behind the curtain, and then after he left, went to the front desk, and she was made to feel like the one who was doing wrong. When in reality, it was the man who was being naked in front of a woman makes you a sexual predator as a man. You are a sexual predator. You forced that sight upon the women, which is scarring. Scary. Women should be protected. Women should not be made to go through that, because a guy in a locker room does not care about whether it's a woman. They're not threatening the men most of the time. Now, if they're jacked up on a whole bunch of testosterone, maybe. But yeah, this is ridiculous. They're putting females at risk. I don't know how this is being tolerated. It is California, so that's probably why. So adding on to this, Michael Saw, a professor of biology at Texas Christian University, told students in his contemporary issue in biology class that he could not give them a biological answer for the word woman. Now, when someone would ask me what a woman was, I don't want to say someone naturally ordered to pregnancy. I want to say caregiver, empathizer, nurturer. I want to go list thousands of things. Well, I probably couldn't list thousands of things. I'm not that smart. So I would want to list tens of things. And they would all be very complimentary to the women. Emotional. That's good in a lot of cases. But now we have to say naturally ordered towards pregnancy, which is sad. It's really sad because it's the transhumanism thing I was talking about earlier. It all kind of ties back to this weird scientific terminology that we are all having to live by now. We're being forced to live by it. Like some scientists would say, when a man kisses a woman, it's just these chemicals, neurotransmitters firing dopamine in the brain, serotonin, all these things. Doesn't actually mean anything. It's just an evolutionary trick to get you to have intercourse. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. I think, love is a real thing. I think kindness is a real thing. I do accept the science. Now, I'm not going to say that doesn't exist, but it's more than that. All these things were ordered to coexist with divine virtues, love, kindness, and all these things. So I reject the simply materialistic worldview. All right, now we are going on to another story. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be able to play videos today. The U.S. ceiling. All right, so right now the debt ceiling is in this predicament. So Republicans love to say, and I'm a Republican or a conservative who oftentimes likes Republicans. But I would say I'm a conservative who I want debt cutting. I want the debt deficit cut, and I want the government to be profitable. Now, that hasn't happened in a long time. But also, Republicans don't want to feel the impact of that. I'm okay with feeling the impact of that. I'm kind of in the workforce. I'm in high school. I'm with my parents. Now, I would hopefully be able to say this as an honest man when I'm hopefully have a job one day, like a real career one day, and support a family. But I would love a slow, a nice cutting of the debt. cutting out a lot of stupid social policy. I saw something where they're going to spend over 4 years like $150 million, $150 billion, I think, to help this fair housing where they put minorities in predominantly white suburbs. Like, that's such a waste of money. That's such a waste of money. Now, redlining's been illegal for so long. This does not need to happen, okay? Trump shut it down when he came in. This is basically Obama 2.0 radicalized, so they're going to reinstate it. So, McCarthy said he won't touch Medicare or Social Security. I'm really happy he said that, because the Democrats would take that and just give them a bat to use on them, is if you say you're going to cut Social Security or Medicare. I'm not sure if I'm for cutting that or not, but yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene says there's got to be cuts in spending. That has to happen. That's what she should cut. The right wing, I don't know what article I got this from. Republican added, I haven't really formulated an exact list. So, because Republicans aren't going to want to cut from the military. I don't want to cut from the military, especially right now in a time of global non-confidence in peace. I mean, so, a global destabilization. So I'll just go with that. So basically, there is no plan on either side, and the burden falls on the Republicans because the other side could care less about blowing out the spending. The Democrats will spend. Also, cutting spending does hurt the economy, and voters would not put up with that. We are in for a rude awakening one day, but really nobody knows what would happen if the U.S. defaulted on their debt. However, in Australia, they did this. There was a political leader on the conservative side who said, our goal, one of our biggest goals as an administration, is to cut the debt. And the voters were on board with it, and they did it. But guess what happened? The liberals got back in and blew the crap out of it. So I don't know. As it's easier for the United States to do this type of thing because we are the world reserve currency. But we could be in for a very, very rude awakening one day. Nobody really knows what would happen if the U.S. defaulted on their debt, but it certainly wouldn't help. At the very least, it would destabilize everyone's reliable. It would destabilize everyone's thoughts of the U.S. dollar being reliable, and U.S. stocks would plummet. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know what would happen. We don't know how everyone would react. They actually have no clue. Paul Pelosi story. If you don't know, there was a big thing where some people thought one thing happened about this guy who apparently had a hammer and hit Paul Pelosi in the head. Went to the hospital. He's fine. But first I'm going to play the video of the Paul Pelosi attack that got released. So, enjoy, I guess.
Yeah, definitely don't want Hall up here. I definitely don't want Hall up here. Hello. Yeah. Fucking said 2620, right? No, 2640. Oh, 40. Yeah, it literally said that. Hi. Hey guys. How you doing?
How are you?
What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
Hi. Drop the hammer.
Nope. Hey.
What is going on right now?
I'm not getting an answer on call back.
Bro, oh shit.
Calls in the area that it's coming in, yeah.
Alright, so that's basically it for the video. So, yeah, that looked pretty weird. That looked like some weird stuff could have been going on, but really, the guy did break in. He's on video breaking in. Pelosi was in the top of the house in a bathroom who called 911, but he also called 911. And we are about to watch that, well, listen to that call, but I'm going to make y'all look at a black screen. So here we go.
Please, 74.
2022.
Oh, I guess I called by mistake. What is this?
18 seconds.
This is San Francisco Police. Do you need help?
Oh, well, there's a gentleman here just waiting for my wife to come back. Nancy Pelosi.
2:23 and
He's just waiting for her to come back, but she's not going to be here for a day, so I guess we'll have to wait.
Okay, do you need police, fire, or medical for anything?
48 seconds.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
2:23 and 58 seconds.
Is the Capitol Police around?
2:20.
No, this
They
is San
usually
Francisco.
protect my wife. They're usually here at the house protecting my wife.
No, this is San Francisco Police.
Friday, October
I understand.
8, 2022.
Okay, well,
2:24
I don't know, what do you
and
think?
18 seconds.
think everything's good. He thinks everything's good. I've got a problem, but he thinks everything's good.
Okay. Call us back if you change your mind.
No. This gentleman just came into the house, and he wants to wait here for my wife to come home. And so, anyway, he told me to put the phone down.
Do you know who the person is?
No, I don't know who he is. He has this. He's telling me not to do anything.
What is your address, sir?
26.
2:25 and 0.
What is your name?
Seconds.
My name is Paul Pelosi.
Friday.
Anyway, this gentleman says that he thinks everything ought to, he's telling me to put the phone down and just do what he says.
18 seconds.
Okay?
Okay, what's the gentleman's name?
I don't know. What's that?
My name's David.
The name is David.
Okay, and who is David?
I don't know. What's that?
I'm a friend of theirs.
Yeah, he says he's a friend, but as I said, I've never.
But you don't know who he is?
No, ma'am.
48 seconds.
Okay.
He's telling me I'm being very leading, so I got to stop talking to you, okay?
2:25 and
Okay. You sure I can stay on the phone with you just to make sure everything's okay?
No, he wants me to get that off the phone.
2:26
Okay.
and 08
Thank you.
seconds.
Okay, bye.
Like, she just didn't get it. She didn't understand. Okay, well, I mean, would you like me to hang up? What, are you dumb? She should be fired immediately. That's one of the main. They definitely train you on that. I mean, the whole pizza box thing. Like, do you want pepperoni? Yes, no, yes, no. Yeah, they definitely train you on that type of situation, and she just didn't get it. He even said Nancy Pelosi, and there's a guy in my house that I do not know. Cops go, like, lights and sirens, but yeah, all right, well, that's about all I got for you guys today. This is Anthony Pratt, and this is Sanity with Anthony. Have a great day.